Now the question is this, did I set this up correctly? I should have, right? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool. Very nice. I think we're here. Now it just remains to be seen whether or not the audio gives me a headache again, as it is wont to do. So, sup. Alright, so here's the thing. We're gonna be doing something a little bit different today. Or rather, we're going to do something a little bit different at first, and then we're gonna go back to playing Final Fantasy 16 because I'm severely sleep deprived and I don't think there's anything else useful that I can do with it. And no, I realize we're a little bit early to the stream, or late, depending on where you live. But I feel like if I don't do it now, I'll never do it. So here's the deal. Here's the deal, everybody. I was recently asked by a colleague, hey, what do you think is the best boss fight in Final Fantasy XIV? And I had a pretty clear answer. But then I remembered, yo, my opinion doesn't really matter. Much like everybody else's. Everyone's opinion is wrong. Your opinion is wrong. 99% of all of your opinions are wrong. Okay, now that we've cleared that up. How do we solve that situation? With science. Specifically data science, or rather we're going to try and do that. Now the question that we have to solve today is, what is the best trial in Final Fantasy XIV? I'm not going to go with all of the bosses, because all of the bosses is going to be too much, and I have to look at the dungeons and the raids, and I don't feel about looking at the dungeons. And looking at the raids is going to be its own separate thing, so we're not gonna do that right away. So, how do we do that? First of all, I want to lie down some definitions, some ground rules. So, what does best mean? So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be grading these in 3 categories. The first is... What's the first? The first is actually the gameplay. Meaning, how difficult is it? What are the mechanics like? Is it really annoying? Is it smooth? Is it too hard? Is it too easy? Is it smooth? Does it play well? Those are the gameplay elements. Number 2. What was the one? Visuals. Now we know that the visuals are very important in the boss fight. I mean, you can say that you're a gameplay person, you prefer the gameplay over everything else, but if you see a really cool boss that is still going to elevate... Wait, actually, I'm going to change that. Number 2, presentation. Now, presentation includes the visuals and the audio, both. So we'll have to take into account, what does the boss look like? What do its attacks look like? What is the general visual spectacle? What is the music like? Maybe the sound design of the fight entire, although we usually don't pay attention to that much. Number 3, impact. There are some trials that are nice, but are not... well, I wouldn't say irrelevant, but they're not that important in the grand scheme of things, right? Like, if you're looking at something like the... what are they called again? The Auspicious Beasts in Stormblood. You don't really care about these. Right? It's just like, whatever. They exist. Byaku exists. Suzaku exists. We don't really care. So these don't have a very high emotional impact on the player. Like, you just go there, you get rid of them, and that's it. So it'll definitely be important to grade how impactful they are in terms of story and emotion and general attachment. Okay, some other ground rules. Ground rules. We're grading Okay, so normal mode, normal, hard, and extreme are graded together. All right, ground rule number 1. Normal mode, hard mode, and extreme mode are gonna be graded together. The reason for that is just simplicity. I don't want to be going back and forth between normal mode, hard mode, extreme mode of different trials, and then maybe end up in a situation where multiple spots in the top 5 or top 10 are blocked by a singular trial and its different difficulty modes, which is very unlikely, but it could happen, and I don't really want that. So that is rule number 1. Rule number 2. Dawntrail is excluded. Rule number 2. Dawntrail is excluded. One of the reasons for that is that there are not a lot of tier lists or videos or general posts on Reddit or social media that include all of the Dawntrail trials, because they're relatively new and people like to make these tier lists when things are finished, so at the end of the expansion. Number 2, like I just said, the expansion isn't over yet, so there are going to be more fights added to it. Right. And that being the case, we don't know yet what else they're going to be releasing, and if it might be something deserving of the number 1 or number 2 or number 3 spot, which I don't believe. But still. Number 3 is simply, I think we can all agree that none of the Dawntrail trials will be in the top 3, right? That's just, I think that's relatively obvious. So we don't have to bother with those. We don't have to bother with those too much, at least when it comes to the top positions on the list. Okay, Dawntrail is excluded. I wanted to do another thing, I think, but I'm not sure anymore what it was. So we graded all together. We exclude Dawntrail, and I think that's it, right? That's all I have to. That's all I have to do. Is like generally. I think. Okay, so as for the methods, we're going to be collecting tier lists from YouTube, Reddit, and social media. We're going to try and collect 5 scores for each trial. And average them. Now, for some of these, this is not going to be as easy, because I think there's a lot of people who we would have to find tier lists that include all of the trials up to the end of Endwalker. Now, I think that's not going to be necessarily difficult, but it's still something that I have to keep in mind. Because if I start taking different tier lists from like Realm Reborn, Heavensward, Stormblood, Shadowbringers individually, it's going to be difficult to aggregate a list that goes over all of the expansions. So we're going to have to find appropriate listings. What else? What else do we need? I think that's about it. So generally on the method, we're going to go on the tier list and we're going to assign them a number of points that are in reverse correlation to their placement on the tier list. Which means a rank 10 on the tier list is going to get 1 point, and a rank 1 on the tier list is going to get 10 points. So we can average these points up at the end. I don't know if this makes any sense, but I think it's like an okay-ish idea. Right? Good, right? So it's totally fine. Okay, cool. Now let me just go and aggregate the scores here. Now the issue is of what are we gonna do? Because a lot of these are gonna get 0 points, but I guess that's fine, right? So in general, it should probably be a 1 to 15 to... Okay, so I'm gonna actually collect like 15 to 20 different trials. Just in case there are trials appearing on the tier lists that don't appear on any other tier lists, because then like we're gonna be missing some data. All right, so first of all, we're going to need a name of the trial, which is like the name of the trial. And the order in this list is not going to be representative to what we're actually going to end up with eventually. I realize I should probably do this in calculator first, because otherwise it's going to be a mess trying to figure that out later. All right, open Libre. That's fine. Can I copy these in here? Can I just take that and copy it into Office? Is that a thing? Well, honestly, I just want I kind of want an index, but I guess not. Oh yeah, I can copy that in there, no problem. Technically possible, so I'm not gonna worry about it. So this is like, we're gonna need a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're gonna need a average. Now I would also love to know where the scores are from. So I guess I'll do a row of sources. No, a column of sources, column to the left. Source. And URL. So I can go back and figure out where that's from. Wait, actually it doesn't make sense. Because the sources apply to every score. Wait, I'm stupid. I'm stupid, that doesn't make sense. Either that, or I'd have to enter them. I'd have to enter the names here, but that's annoying, right? I could enter the names and URLs in the column header. Or something like, or like annotate them. I mean, I guess that would work, yeah. Okay, fair enough. I guess I can do that. With that being said then, can I get a tier list of those? Fantasy 14 trials tier list. Tier list, Dawntrail. Who are you? That's not you, okay. Power Minute, okay, that's Dawntrail. I don't wanna know the jobs. Rating all primals. But it is only extreme, but that's like fair, I think. Actually, I'm going to define some more rules. Ground rule methods. I am allowed to change the ranking of a I am allowed to change the ranking of a trial by 1 if I feel like there's something off with the ranking. I'm not sure if that's actually going to be the case, but I want to reserve myself the option of doing that. If I see something in the tier list that absolutely makes no sense, then I might want to do a correction to that. Okay, I think that's all of the rules we need, so we can just go. Now, what does this contain? Is it all of the trials? I ranked every trial. Okay, this is every trial. 4 years ago. I would assume that it's Endwalker, right? Okay, let's see here. So this is tiers, which makes this a little more difficult. I'm going to have to. All right, fine. I'm seeing here that most people make tier lists. So I will have to change the approach a little bit. Okay, hold on. Shut up, Xeno. My god, what are these I can't see anything, dude. Can you please? Can you please make this a little clearer? I can't see nothing. Okay, but we generally have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say we have 6 tiers. And anything that's below the 6th tier is gonna get stuffed into that tier. So what we're actually gonna have to do is go by points. So like S rank, wait. F rank. No, wait. Absent is 0 points. F rank is 1 point. D rank is 2 points. A, C, D. I can't even know my alphabet. What the hell? C rank is 3 points. B tank. B tank. What's a C tank? A C rank tank. Surely that's a Dark Knight. And points. A rank is 5 points, and S rank is 6 points. Okay, so now we can score them in terms of tier lists, which will probably leave us with more things to go through. But that's like okay, I think. So I'm gonna go start with Xenosys list here. Trying to figure out what the hell is on there. And I will ignore all of the things that are from Dawntrail. Wait, this is September 2021, so I don't think I have to worry about that. Is Endwalker in there? Is Endwalker 2021? Surely there's no way, right? Like, there's no way. Where does anyone see Hydaelyn or like Zodiark in there? Anyway, I can't see anything. Okay, Xeno, I think you are disqualified for now. This is really annoying. Okay. Final Fantasy 14 Trials tier list. We need some data. Rate all extreme pro. Okay. Villains tier list. That's not what I wanted. Thank you. Every extreme trial Endwalker. Okay, thanks. That's good. That's what I need. Yeah, don't care. Don't care. Don't know. Please, just take me to the end of the tier list. Okay, fair enough. I actually forgot that Rathalos is a thing. My god. Rating, okay. This might not be as easy as I thought it might be. Power meta ranking, job tier list, Raiden, okay. Endwalker rates. Okay. Every trial theme, I mean, that's fair. They're really good. Races and rankings, okay, fair enough. I feel like there's not that many. Okay, that's this. Never mind. I will take these 2 videos and be happy with what I have. How would you rank all extreme? Okay, so this is from 1 year ago. Okay, so it's like This is not really a ranking. I just gonna need a few users who will give me their goddamn lists. Okay, so this guy has nothing that's useful. They rate them in terms of difficulty, which I don't want. Side fantasy. Okay, that's not exactly what I was getting at, but sure. Thank you for that. Trials tier list Reddit. Alright, here's some random guy with his tier list. Maybe that. What the hell? That's not trials, that's just everyone. That's just every character. Cool. That's odd. Also, this contains everything, right? This is absolutely everything. Also, this is like weird. I don't want to use this. This strikes me as something that doesn't really make a lot of sense, right? Let's save the best trial in the game. Okay. Cool, cool. I don't think this helps me much, to be honest. I would love to enlist the help of Twitter or other social media on this. But I tried, and nobody answered. Maybe I can try on Blue Sky. Maybe they'll answer. Absolutely disgusting, though. What do we do about that? I just need more data, dude. Ranking every trial. Okay, I think we already opened that one. Shut the hell up. No, that doesn't... I don't want your jobs ranked. Stupid. Dumb. Ridiculous. Trial songs, well, that doesn't help me either. Okay, I think I might need Xeno's list after all. Just to have something to go off. And then I'll add my own. Okay, I'll add my own tier list later on. Endwalker rates tier list. But that's rates, right? That's not... Okay, extreme. I'm gonna need this, unfortunately. And then I sort of have to figure out what the hell the man has done there, because I can't read anything. Okay, so... I'm starting here, because that's definitely the most difficult thing to do. So, we have King Mugelmog, who from Xeno is getting 1 point. Or rather, he's weighting all of them, so I guess... So this is lower or absent. King Mugelmog is getting 0 points. We have Suzaku, which is getting 1 point. Byakuya is getting 1 point. What is that? I think that's Lakshmi. Lakshmi is getting 1 point. Bismarck is also getting 1 point. And I don't know what that is. I can't actually see. What the hell is that? What is that? What is he after? Is that Leviathan? Like, surely not, right? Oh, it might be. It might be Leviathan. Yeah, okay, I see. Leviathan. Getting 1 point too. I'm gonna need more rows in this goddamn table then. So, what can you make these any smaller, please? I love not being able to see what I'm dealing with. Hold on, this is ridiculous. It's goddamn stupid. Okay. So, what the hell is... Okay, sure. I'll start drawing on it. What the hell is here? What is this? What is this? What is this? I don't know. What is this? What is it? What is it? What is this? What is this thing? I can't see anything. Alright, I'm gonna skip that for now. Emerald weapons so low? God, Xenos, do you not like fun? Like, do you not like having fun in your life? I mean, Jesus Christ. Putting Emerald in D tier? What's wrong with you? Emerald weapon. Weapon. Emerald weapon, 2 points. Okay, that's one of them. What do we have here? Oh, we have Ultima for 2 points. Ultimate. Ultima for 2 points. Ruby weapon for 2 points. What the heck is this? God, I don't know what you want from me. Ifrit with 2 points. Fine, I'll skip the ones that I can't comprehend. Garuda, 2 points. And Zervan. Cool, that's those then. Then we have Tsukuyomi. Tsukuyomi with 3 points. This is, who the hell is that? Some of these trials, I don't even remember, man. What the hell? Who is that? Alright, anyway, we have Titania with 3. We have Susanoo with 3. And we have Shiva with 3. And then there is a bunch of others. We have Ramuh with 4, presumably. We have Sophia with 4. We have whatever the hell that is. I'm almost thinking that's Typhon. I don't know. Okay, we have Innocence. We have Diamond Weapon. Diamond Weapon, and we have Hades. Hades nuts. Wait, we're already at A rank, right? Then those are significantly more points then. Well, hold on. I've been mistaken. So Murumog is 0. Suzuku, all these are 0. Emerald and no. Emerald is 2. And then everything after Emerald is like 3. Okay. 3, 3, 3, 3. Actually, no. Everything up to Zervan is like 3, and then Tsukuyomi is 4. And then Ramuh is 5. Which I would... Okay, this is fine. Excuse me, who is this? Is this Titan? I think that's Titan. I'm gonna have to look into the video to figure out what these are exactly. So, we have S-Rank Titan. We have Thordan. We have Ravana. Oh, I forgot about Ravana. Ravana was actually great. This is Sephiroth. Sephiroth. That is Warrior of Light. Hi there. We're rating things. What the hell is this guy? Is that Nidhogg? That looks like Nidhogg. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what the hell Xeno has put on his tier list, but I, for the life of me, can't make out some of these things. Like, can you help me out? Is this Nidhogg? This looks like Nidhogg. I swear to God, sometimes, man. Okay, I'm just gonna assume that's Nidhogg. Cool. Okay, now I just have to figure out these other idiots. What is that? Some of these I don't even know anymore. Zeno, can you please tell me what the hell that is? Where is it even on the list? And this is Suzaku, that's fine. That's Leviathan. What is that indeed here? It's not there yet, so. Okay. Hold on. I have to skip forward a little bit. That's Ifrit. I only played FF7 Remake. Well, that's good. You have a lot more Final Fantasies to go through. But avoid, like, Final Fantasy 2. That's a little bit cumbersome. Wait. That's, okay, that's Ifrit. Oh no, wait, who is this guy? Who is this guy? I'm gonna need audio on this. Okay. Seiryu! Alright, he existed. I completely forgot about him. So Seiryu is a C rank then. Wait, what does that mean? C rank is 3 points. Okay. So add a row here, that's Seiryu. Seiryu gets 3 points. Alright, gotcha. What else didn't I know? There's a few others here. This thing, what the hell is this? What the hell is this abomination? I need clarification. I need clarification, Mr. Beardman. Wait, where is he? Is that thing on the list still? Oh yeah, it's down there. It's like right at the end. That's okay. That's him. That's not what I wanted. Wait, did he rank the bird already? Yeah. Okay, what's it? Shinryu! Right, wait, I think that's Shinryu. Okay. I forgot Shinryu was a thing too. That means Shinryu is rank A, which makes him 5 points. Okay. Shinryu is getting Shinryu, 5 points. Which I would agree with, generally. Alright, shut up. What is the other one? Behemoth. Wait, is that Rathalos? Oh yeah, Rathalos. This is kind of a cool concept, but we were a bit shafted on what we actually got here compared to what Monster Hunter got with the Behemoth. So Rathalos falls here somewhere. Okay, gotcha. Cool. I think that should be everything that he had on his playlist. On his tier list that I previously didn't understand. Okay, hold on just a second. So that's this one. We'll move on to the next tier list. This one is a lot clearer. I can actually see what is going on here. Okay, actually, can I make it like this so I have both of these things simultaneously? Actually, that makes the tier list significantly smaller, and I'm not sure if that's smart to do, but I might still be able to make things out. Okay. So we have here. Wait, can I sort this? I don't think I can sort them in Obsidian, so that's sort of annoying. Okay, we're gonna do the silly thing. No, that's not what I want. That's the image. Stop copying the image. What are you doing this? Stop it with the image. Get out of here. I swear to God. Can I not just copy that over to... No, apparently I can't. Alright, fair enough then. I was hoping that was that is an ability that I'm granted by the powers of... Okay, there we are. Oh yeah, right. that is marked down. That doesn't work. Well, great. Maybe I should just go ahead and put that in the table right away, otherwise I'm going to regret it later. Alright, now that's annoying. Fine, I may have made a mistake here. I admit it. Frick. Can I just run a replace over all of that? Find a replace. Yeah, you find... Wait. Does this have regular expressions? Yeah, okay. So, S, that, and... okay, so... Plus... No. S. Replace all. There we are. And now I can replace all the pipes individually. We can find those? What do you mean? Oh, that's an OR expression, I see. I see. Well, that wouldn't make any sense then. There we are. Now that's much better. I think. I feel like. I think that's okay. In the column width a little wider. Maybe a little more wider. Maybe a little wider still. Maybe a little plus on the wideness. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And average. So everything right now should be 0. Oh, before I forget. Wait, no, I'm gonna... God damn it! That's not what I wanted. Wait, how do I make it such that it copies the 0 to all of the cells? I don't want a series of numbers. Ah, there we go. We hold control. That's how it's done. What? What do you mean? So this, and this, and this. And the average is gonna be... what's it? Sum? It's a sum... like B2 to B2 to F2 by 5, which currently is nothing. That's fair. Okay, so that'll do it correctly, hopefully. Perfect. Now I just need to save that somewhere where it makes sense. Scripts. I already have that. FF14 tier. Trials. FF. Yes, please. Yes, please. God damn it. Let me enter a name. What do you mean? Trials. Ranking. I'll make this large. Delete this one since nobody needs it really. Okay, there we are. King Mugelmog is kind of a little bit of a nonsensical fight, isn't it? Extend, okay, yeah. Need the header. Insert a buff, please. That's not exactly what I wanted to do, but okay. You know what? Fine. I don't mind. I don't care. Okay, everything is in alphabetical order now. Great. Awesome. Thank you. Good. Now that that's done, I can actually go ahead and take these apart. So, Seiryu, getting how many? It's getting 1 point. All of these are at least 1 point. Seiryu, you're getting... Wait. No. Still. I have to go back to... Obsidian for a second here. And get all these numbers. Oh, damn. Everything has changed now. Oh, I should have done it beforehand. God darn it. Gosh, diggity darn it. Fine. That is my own fault. King Mugelmog is 1. Suzaku is 1. Yoko is 1. Lakshmi is 1. Leviathan is 1. Emerald Weapon is 1. Ultima is... Do we have Ultima? Ultima is 3. Ruby Weapon is 3. Ifrit is 3. Garuda is 3. Zervan is 3. City is nowhere to be seen. Oh, there he is. 3. Rathalos. Rathalos? Rathalos. Rathalos is 3. Tsukuyomi is 4. Titania. Or Susanoo. Or Shiva is 4. Ramu is 5. Sophia is 5. Innocence is also 5. Diamond Weapon, where are you? Up there. Diamond Weapon is really good. I really love Diamond Weapon. Hades is 5. Shinryu is 5. Titan is S rank, 36. Much like everybody else who was not yet mentioned. Ravana. No, Bismarck. I didn't do Bismarck, so he has 1. Nidhogg apparently is. Nidhogg was really good. Now that I think about it. Now that I think back on Nidhogg, he was actually really good. I gotta admit, like not a bad trial at all. Not a bad one at all. Okay. Next tier list then. Now that I actually have a table that makes some gosh darn sense. Cool. What do we have here? Sidiou. You are getting a 1, apparently. Bismarck. Apparently people don't like Bismarck much, which I sort of understand. Ooh, there is a large variance between the Ramu placements. He's on the F tier here. Much like Ifrit. That's crazy. I didn't think Ifrit was that bad. I mean, Ifrit was nothing special, but he was really, you know, I would say inoffensive. He didn't really do anything. Who is he? Oh yeah, we have... This is the Endwalker list. That means we also get... Zodiark. And... Hydaelyn. How do I score these if they were absent, like completely absent on the other list? Do I just give them a 3 or a 0? Huh. What do I think Xeno would have ranked them? I think probably around 3. Like, there's no way he'd put them in F. With a caveat, because I don't know exactly. Okay, so this is then... Is that Zodiark, or is that... Zeramus? It might actually be Zeramus. Forgot he exists too. Zeramus. And then we have all the other ones, like Barbaricia. Oh, yeah. Barbaricia. Then was Rubicante. What was the last one? Oh, Golbez. We have no data on these, though. Did Xeno not make any of that? Xeno rates... Xeno rates Extreme Trials. Where's that ago? This was 4 years ago. 4 years ago was not Endwalker? Are you serious? There's no Endwalker trials on there? Like, you gotta be kidding me, man. Like, please take your job seriously. I can't work with this. Garuda, Diamond, okay, that's not... Xeno. Do we have anything else here? Any more data that I can get? Rates, trials. Rating all primals, all Shadowbringers raids, all Storm and Savage. Yeah, these are not helpful. Okay, I'm gonna have to give all of these a 3. That will place them... That would still place them nowhere near the top 3, I think, when we get to the final score. But I think that's relatively fair. I think there was nothing else in Endwalker that I need to worry about. Actually, there was. I'm stupid. Endsinger. Of course there's the Endsinger. Okay, gotcha. Cool. Well, now that I get that out of the way, I can keep scoring. So, Ifrit is 1. This one is probably Zeramus then. At least it looks like it. Zaramis. I did like Zaramis though. What's the problem with Zaramis? Rubicante is... Yeah, Rubicante is annoying. I do get that. But I'll do my own rating at the end, and then I'll get into why he's annoying. What are you? Oh, that's Odin. Wow, we completely forgot about Odin. But yeah, Odin isn't that great either. The End Singer, too. That is Tsukuyomi. It's a good thing I know all of these, otherwise this would be annoying. Garuda is 2. Susanoo should be 2 as well. Sephiroth? D rank? Really? Man, like this guy has no taste. Just literally tasteless. Literally like a piece of cardboard. No taste whatsoever. Byakko. Rathalos. How in what universe is Rathalos better of a trial than Sephiroth? I don't understand. I mean, this man is on something. I'm not sure what he's on, but I want some of it. Rathalos is here. That's a... Wait. Does that make it a 3? Yeah, actually. Shiva gets a 3. That's fair. Shinryu gets a 3. Hades gets a 3. I'm gonna need more data than this because these guys are insane with their opinions. They are not spitting fire. They're spitting something, but it ain't fire. Hades. I'm not gonna make the joke a second time. Ultima? Is that Ultima? I think that's Ultima. And Emerald. People really don't like Emerald, huh? It's strange. I thought Emerald would be a little more, you know, popular than that. Emerald weapon's really cool. But yeah, if you've played Final Fantasy VII Remake, then I'm not sure if they introduced the weapons yet, but if they didn't, they will. They will probably do that in the next part of the remake. Then you get all of the good weapons like Ultima, Ruby, and Emerald. Experience the grief and the pain of the 1990s. Okay, Innocence, Titan is... Here, Titan. How in the world is Leviathan that high up in the list? And also, who the hell is this? Okay, actually, I don't know who that is. I'm gonna need to make that a little larger. Hold on. Who? Oh, that's... Okay, that's Zodiac. Yeah, never mind. I'm stupid. That's Zodiac. Zodiac. Gets 4 points, apparently. Titania gets 4. And Zervan. Zervan is 4. Lakshmi. Lakshmi is 4. Good King Mugelmog. 4. Okay. This is just a black mass of nothing, but I think that's Nidhogg. I believe that's Nidhogg is getting 5 points. Fair enough. This is Whomst? I think that's Golbez. And I do agree, Golbez was kind of cool, actually. Hydaelyn. 5. Is this Ruby? That's a Ruby weapon. Ruby weapon. Sophia. Then there's Suzaku with a surprisingly high score, actually. There is the Warrior of Light, who consistently ranks very highly. The Warrior of Light is here. That was all 6s. And Barbariccia is getting an S rank. Unexpectedly, but she's not bad, admittedly. I like her fight a lot. I will mark these red, just to signify that they were absent from the original tier list, so I know. What is his goddamn name again? Emperor of Garlemald. Varys Sosgalvus. It's getting a 3, I guess. Alright, cool. Thanks, Varys. Very cool, very cool. Thanks for your service. And that makes him a what? An S rank? I would highly doubt that. I'd highly doubt that. Now, this is diamond weapon. I think that's fair. Diamond. Oh no, I'm on the wrong number. Diamond weapon 6. That's Ravana. Okay, yeah. And we have Thornton on S rank again. I see a pattern here. Everybody seems to love Thornton. Okay. Then is the second tier list. Now we have a third over here. Which I'm not sure if that's everything. This seems really small. There's not a lot on there, right? I feel like there's a ton missing. So that's far from everything. Final Fantasy 14 trials ranked. All right, there's a game rank tier list, a game rant tier list. Now I'm intrigued. Well, they're not ranking all of them though. Also, this is weird. This is a weird ass list. Cool. Yeah, I am not interested. I'm actually surprised Mr. Happy doesn't have any. I would have expected him to be one of the first ones to make a trial tier list, but apparently no. Do I then have to work with my own tier list? It's a little annoying. Maybe I'll put that up for debate. Well, I'm not sure what else to do with the data. There's not much I can go on here, right? We only ever get a top 10. We're not getting a... Okay, there's like some guy that ranked everything. Now the question is, has he ranked everything up until Endwalker? No, I think the blog post is too old. So I can't really go by that. I mean, I could use old data and just insert and just give everything a 3 that is not on the ranking, but that doesn't seem right either. Alright, so here's like some guy, but extreme trials tier list. Doesn't really cover everything either, does it? Like, Endwalker isn't on here. Extreme trials tier. Okay, get me to the tier maker. Tier maker FF14 trials. Every boss is not what I want, please. That's crazy. I'm not rating all of that. Also, this is too many. This includes all of the ones from Dawntrail. 7.3. This is also everything. It even includes Arkveld, which they have as a crossover from Monster Hunter now. But I don't much care for him. Oh, Yojimbo! I mean, nobody talks about Yojimbo. I highly doubt that it's gonna be Yojimbo. But this also contains all of the rest. Community ratings. There's none, actually. There's way less data than I thought there would be, which is slightly annoying. How? Imagine you just leave me here. This is absolutely ridiculous. I'm trying to figure this out, and you guys are not being helpful. AR to Endwalker. What the hell? Well, that's just everything, right? Smash or pass. Alright, fair enough then. You do you, my man. Go to template. Well, then I just have to ignore everything, right? Honestly, that's like annoying. This one is the one that has everything, but also I can't really see shit there. This one has... Alright, fine. So I'll add my own list as the last one. And I'll try to find other data as I do that, but I'm not sure what I can come up with, honestly. I am incredibly unsure where we're going with that. Alright, sure. So we're gonna add our own ranking to that. Which I might just be moving around a little bit based on where we are. And I'm going to ignore all of the things that are not... that differentiate between extreme and non-extreme. Which is annoying with this one, honestly. Okay, this should be everything. Okay, I'm gonna ignore Dragon's Neck as well, because who even cares? Alright, so... to create a baseline... Can I adjust this? Can I, like, add a new one, or... is that not a thing? Alignment chart. Wait, no. How do I add? How do I add a level to the tier list? Hold on a gosh darn minute. Darn. I want a new one. I want a new tier. There's not enough tiers. Or can I remix this somehow? Change background color, presentation mode, reset. Yeah, okay, sure. I don't want to make my own one, man. I would use this one, but the tiers aren't right. I need like one more tier. At least. Ideally, I'd have 2 more tiers. Can I add something here? That's mega annoying, actually. Oh, wait, there's one. Add a row below. Right. So that's a new one. Okay, so this is then F tier. And I'm not gonna go below F tier, honestly. So let me just check if we have everything that's relevant here. Hydaelyn is here, Zodiark is here, the Endsinger is here, all of these are here. Okay, that should be everything. Fine. Then let me start. Let me start trying to figure this one out. Okay, so we have... I'm gonna start easy. For everything that's an AR, it's probably a baseline of C rank, I would say. Now, I'm probably gonna move these around later on as I realize that other stuff might not fit in there. But for now, I'll leave them there. Except Titan. Titan is gonna go up a rank because he's like iconic. Not just for his music, like everything about him is sort of great. His music is amazing, and he has been notorious in the times of Realm Reborn, where the netcode was, actually it wasn't the netcode, the servers were just significantly worse, and the lag was so great that you couldn't dodge the easiest AoEs, and it would punt you off of the platforms every time. It was really funny, and I think that's why people have a great fondness for Titan, and just because of that, he should have a rank above the others in Realm Reborn. Now, Ultima is sort of, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. He's very inoffensive. I'll put him in B for now. the thing is Ultima is very inoffensive. It's not very hard. It's a very smooth fight, I think. But the story significance and impact are really high. There's a lot of emotional impact, there's a lot of personal attachment to Ultima. And I think that elevates him above the other trials in Realm Reborn. Is there anything else I need to say about Ultima? His music is amazing. Honestly, I don't think it's better than Titans, to be fair, but it's really great. But who is this? Oh, Cape Westwind. Yeah. Well, let me just shunt you off down there, honestly. You know what? You're getting your own tier. You're getting your own tier over there. You just get out of there. Then we're calling that Westwind. Wait, no. Exists. He'll be in exists tier. Because we all know what a meme Cape Westwind is. I think they reworked it, so it's not actually as much of a shit show anymore. Or it has like some interesting mechanics at least, but still. When it came out, and for a very long time, it was just everybody goes in, slaps the guy around for 2 minutes, goes out, and bags their tombstones. That's all it was. Alright, fine. Oh, what's this? Is that the bridge? What was it called again? That was the bridge that leads over to Ishgard. But I forgot what the trial was called. The Steps of Faith. Oh, the Steps of Faith. Right. Everyone forgot about that one, huh? Well, here's the thing about that. The Steps of Faith sucked. It was terrible. I think they changed that too. But in its first iteration, it was absolute dog water. and I think even now, it's not much more interesting. It's easier, but it's not much more interesting. And I don't even know if that exists anymore. Like, do we still have that? I don't know. I have no idea, honestly. It might be a single player thing now. Well, whatever they did with him, he was an absolute garbage man, so he's going down there. Not that I'm trying to rag on garbage men, but Jesus. This friggin' guy. At least he was a fight. He wasn't Cape Westwind, but still. Good King Mugelmog. King Mugelmog used to be incredibly frustrating in its extreme version. Because it required like a high amount of coordination to kill the Mughals in like the right order, to not destroy the entire party. And even in normal mode, you could wipe an entire raid if you did it incorrectly. So just for that reason, he's gonna go down in D. It's like his impact wasn't that great either. It was sort of a filler trial. I wouldn't say that he was egregiously terrible, but I don't think he deserves to be anywhere higher than this, right? And I was like, he's got the funny music. I'll give you that. His music is really funny, but he can sort of sit there. That's fine. I'll just let him hang out there. The next, Ramuh. Ramuh is... What did I feel about for Ramuh back then? Like, obviously his music is, like, good. I don't think it's exceptional. The emotional impact is, like, eh. I mean, it's Ramuh. You know his name if you played Final Fantasy, so it's kind of cool to see him appear as a trial, I guess. And the fight itself, the extreme was kind of cool, I think. Yeah, it did require a little more coordination than the others. It was a little bit harder, I think, too. I'll shunt him to a low B tier, I feel like. I don't know if he's gonna stay there, but for now that feels sort of appropriate. Leviathan. is weird. It is weird. A lot of people hated him because you had that added annoyance that it could be punted off the platforms and then just die, and that happened a lot. There was a lot of falling off the ship in that fight. And I think that hasn't changed much. So the extreme version was a little annoying to do because people just tended to fall off all the time. And in terms of impact and music, he was sort of similar to Ramuh, except that his fight feels like it was much worse. So I'll give him like a low-end C rank. Shiva. Oh, Shiva is carried very heavily by her theme. I mean, just the fact that she has Oblivion speaks for itself. Now, what was her fight like? I hardly did any of the extreme, I will admit. I feel like it wasn't bad. It might have been quite interesting. But I don't necessarily remember. I don't remember her much for her fight mechanics. I mostly remember her for her presentation and impact, because it was like she's like, what was her name? Iceheart? Was she named Iceheart? I forget. But she was an important part of the story too. So presentation and impact wise, she was pretty up there. So I am sort of a mind to put her in front of Ramuh in that regard. Okay, what the heck is that one? Wait, wasn't there a trial where you go and try to save Minfilia from the Ascians? Like you went and to save someone and you fought La Brea in there. Does that still exist? God, I haven't seen that in years. Huh. Oh, well, what am I gonna do with that? What was that even called? I know that people. Okay, so this was terrible. This is one of the most terrible ones. People hated this one, and people wiped on this all the time. I completely forgot I think it was called the Chrysalis. Was it the Chrysalis? It might have been. People wiped on this all the time. And it wasn't a nice fight to get on the trials roulette, because you saw it and you knew, oh god, we're gonna die at least once. So, yeah, it's kind of an awkward time in the story too, I think. And nobody really liked that one, so I feel compelled to leave it there. Okay, gotcha. The next one is Odin. Aw, Odin. Where are we gonna put you? Odin is kind of like nothing. He's a really inoffensive fight. He doesn't have any complex mechanics. It's mostly just AoEs you have to dodge, and then there's a DPS check at the end. And that's it. And then also, it's at the end of a chain of side quests, so it's not really part of the story either. Everything about Odin is kind of like, whatever. Just brush it off. We don't care about him. So I feel he's less annoying than Mugelmog, but also it doesn't really matter. It's just him. It's just Odin. He's just around. I don't know. Nobody knows what he's doing. It's just what it is. Okay, fine. Who is he? Is that Byakko? That looks like Byakko. No, wait, that's a Chimera. Right. Right. There were trials that were specific to the relic grind, and Chimera was one of them. And I think the other one was too. Oh god, all of these are kind of the same level of whatever. I'd say the Chimera and whatever this thing was, they just exist. Nobody cares about them, really. It's just, at least Cape Westwind was part of the story. But these two, they're just literally whatever. Then there's Gilgamesh. Like, you know what? You know, Gilgamesh is at least funny. Both of the Gilgamesh trials are funny. All of the Gilgamesh trials are funny, I would say. But are they funny enough to rank anything above D? I don't think so. So I don't really know what to do with these. So I'll put them there. I think they're still less annoying than Mugemog. So indeed they shall remain. What was that? Dragon's Neck. Oh, the Typhon and Ultros fight. They used to be really annoying. Really annoying. And people could not clear them for the life of them. Now, are they still that bad? I don't know. They might have been changed in the meantime, but as it were, also not a very comfortable fight. And also didn't really matter. Nobody really liked doing it. It's whatever. Ooh, Ravana. Everybody kind of likes Ravana, and I can see why. The story impact is like, whatever. It's like we're chilling with another beast tribe. We're going in, they have a problem, they summon a primal, we take care of it, it's whatever. But the whole presentation of Ravana is excellent. From his theme to his visuals to his voice to everything. It's great. Ravana's just absolute shivers down the spine. And his extreme version fight is really good too. At least back then it wasn't too hard. It was a little bit challenging, but it was fun to do. It was always kind of a good time. So I'm inclined to move him up to A rank, actually. I think he at least belongs there. Bismarck, however, not so much. Bismarck was an interesting fight where they tried to do to do a lot of new things. Sort of experimented with a new battle structure for this entire encounter. But I think it fell flat in that there's a lot of downtime where it just don't really do anything. And then you have just... this entire thing is kind of just an annoyance. I will rate him a little higher than these idiots. Because it's just they tried something creative and was kind of, it just kind of didn't work out. So, his scene was kind of cool. I like that. It was kind of chill. Next one is Thordan. Oh, Thordan. Immediate S rank. Thordan is so good. Thordan is so good in every conceivable way. I would still say that he's probably the best trial. At the very least, the best extreme trial that we had in the game. So he absolutely deserves a spot up there. I'm not sure if it's people having a soft spot for Heavensward, but a lot of the Heavensward fights were have just stood the test of time as those that are really beloved by the community. And I think maybe there's a reason for that. Or maybe we're just blinded with nostalgia, even though I don't really feel nostalgia. So I like to think that that is not the case, okay? Otherwise, we have Nidhogg. Nidhogg was really, really good too. And was really emotionally charged. And the theme was amazing as well. And the fight, I actually liked doing, even though I didn't like the visuals of Nidhogg and his like attacks too much. Everything about him just kind of fit. It kind of worked. In my personal estimation, he might either be like a low S or high A rank. And I'm not quite sure. I'll leave him in high A for now. And when we do the second pass, once the tier list is done, I might be changing my mind. By the way, I'm gonna take this stream later and turn it into a proper video. Right. So if you would like to contribute to the making of this video, you are free to do so. But now we will continue with the next one, which is Sephiroth, another one of the Heavensward trials, and one that I think is actually really, really, really good. So, impact-wise, it's always a little iffy with these side quest trials. They didn't really mean much in the grand scheme of things, but I feel like Sephiroth just makes up for that. Because his extreme fight is so interesting. And it's also kind of difficult, but not too much. And you need a little bit of coordination for it. I mean, for the extreme fights, you usually need a lot of coordination, but still. I really liked him. And his theme was an absolute banger. So I think Sephiroth is like a low S. High A, low S for now. For now, I'll leave him in low S because I like him personally. Sophia. Sophia is, I don't know, high B. I liked her trial. I liked the mechanics. I liked doing it. And it was just all around pretty nice. I enjoyed that. It was nothing that I get like incredibly excited about, but really nice. That's it. Zurvan, where are you? Where am I putting you? Where am I putting you? Because I'm torn between B and C. Okay, Zurvan, you're going into the high C for now. I like Zurvan. Zurvan was good, much like all of the other Heavensward trials. But doing Zurvan in the Party Finder was sometimes an absolute nightmare. Because people, for the life of them, couldn't deal with some of his mechanics. There were the marks that nobody could deal with. There was the soar mechanic that everybody wanted skip, and everybody wanted to skip it because they couldn't deal with it, and if they couldn't skip it, they would just disband the party. Because like everybody's just impatient as hell. Understandably, because a lot of parties are just a waste of time. But Zurvan was problematic in that regard, as it made Party Finder runs of that trial really annoying. Susano. Okay, Susano. I really don't have much to say about Susano. I think he's like a solid C. Like, okay. I don't mind him. He's better than the Realm Reborn trials, I think, except Titan. So I think that's where he fits best, I would say. Right? Right, yeah. I think Susano is well placed in sort of that bracket. Lakshmi was the other Stormblood trial. Is not quite that good, but I also feel like she's better than Odin since she has mechanics and she's part of the story, even though it was kind of unnecessary to have her there. So low C, lowest C, maybe actually better than Leviathan, honestly, now that I think about it. So yeah, that's good. We'll leave her there. Shinryu. Shinryu is Shinryu is Shinryu is really I have to think about that a little bit. Because Shinryu has the story impact. He has the amazing music. An absolute banger. So he has the presentation. He is massive, imposing. He has a lot of interesting mechanics. Or actually, does he have interesting mechanics? He had that destructible arena, which was kind of interesting. He also had that tail you had to destroy and like deal additional damage to him, which was kind of cool. And the extreme the extreme version of Shinryu was completely different to the normal one. Where suddenly, in normal, you just fight him like floating in front of a platform, just kind of flapping his wings there. When in extreme, you have to fight the entire thing. Like the entire goddamn dragon as he lands next to you on the platform, and then you have to get on his back and run up his tail in the spine. It was really cool. It was such a great idea. Really cool fight. And I think just for that, I want him up in A. For some reason, even despite everything I just said, I wouldn't put him in S tier. But he's somewhere up there. He definitely deserves to be somewhere up there. Because he's like just that good. I think the next ones are the optional Stormlight trials. Cool. So we have Byakko. I don't know. He had that cool bullet hell element where he kind of skydive and have to dodge all of his balls. So it was sort of interesting, kind of a cool theme. Not a lot of impact. I guess it can go into C tier safely. And Suzaku was sort of the same, even though she wasn't as good as him, but like a little better than Susanoo, I guess. Yeah, I put him there. Now, Seiryu I don't know much about, admittedly. I fought the normal version like a few times, and only briefly been in the extreme trial. But I've heard that people really hated that extreme trial. And I'm not sure why that is. Maybe someone can elucidate me on that point, but as things stand, and because I don't really know anything about him, I'm gonna put him somewhere next to Bismarck. It's fair? Probably. Oh, Tsukuyomi. Tsukuyomi is strange, kind of. Because... Alright, water. Tsukuyomi is strange, because Yotsuyu was sort of an important part of the story. And then she turned into Tsukuyomi and we got rid of her. And then that story was concluded. Which is fair enough. She was only around for Stormblood. Or didn't she reappear after that? What the hell? What happened to Yotsuyu? I completely forgot what happened to her. Well, apparently it wasn't that important. Alright, but anyway. Fight was okay. There was some cool mechanics with the split moon phases where you had to kind of alternate between the sides of the arena so you don't get killed. And you had to time that in tandem with their attacks. So, cool idea. I'd say it's like better than... It doesn't have quite the impact of Ultima. Ultima's just like... He's such a mainstay of Final Fantasy XIV that I can't put Tsukuyomi above him. But she could certainly go above Ramuh, I think. Rathalos. I mean, cool concept. You're not quite as unnecessary as Lakshmi and Leviathan, so you go here. But also you're not beating Garuda and Ifrit. Sorry. Sorry, bro. Sorry, man. Yojimbo, the battle on the big bridge in Kugane. What about you, Yojimbo? What about you indeed? Huh. That is... no. I don't feel like it's a C rank. It wasn't that annoying. It's sort of a similar situation to Rathalos, where it's not quite as good, and where it's not quite on the Garuda Ifrit level, but it's like better than Lakshmi. So sure, you can go there. I guess that's fair. Yeah, I'll leave you there. Titania. I liked the Titania fight. It was really cool. Nice mechanics. Nice trees. Nice roots. Nice separation of the arena that you had there. Nice girl. Just nice girl. I like her. However, where does she go in terms of all of that? Like, is she better than Ultima? Better than Shiva? I think she's better than Tsukuyomi. So she ranges somewhere around there. Innocence. Innocence is a weird one. I think Innocence is weird in that his normal trial version was actually better than the extreme. And now the extreme might have been more difficult, obviously. But the normal version just had so much pomp and circumstance about it, I guess. Where obviously the fight happens after you ascend to Mount Golg, and then you have that story beat, which I guess would be a spoiler, that happens before that. And then you have the first phase that is still War 3, and then he transforms mid-fight into this golden god. It's just... the whole presentation of the normal version was so good that I hardly remember the extreme version. And I think he kind of deserves an A rank just for how cool it was to fight him the first time. At least I think that. I don't know. Opinions may differ on this, but I do believe that. Hades is a tearjerker, for sure. There's the final trial in Shadowbringers. So it's sort of up here. It's an A. But is it like better than Shinryu and Innocence? Am I gonna have a hot take here? Am I going to annoy a lot of people with what I'm about to say? I don't know. I don't feel like he was better than Innocence. I gotta be honest. I don't think so. Like I haven't done the extreme in much, but I just don't feel that way, honestly. So difficult, very difficult, but I think he's not better than Innocence, at least in terms of emotional impact. Actually, Hades had a lot of emotional impact. That's really hard. But better than Innocence and Shinryu? My god. I'll leave it up to... I don't know who am I gonna ask. Maybe I'll ask my friends about it. And I'll use their opinions. Okay, so Vares Zos Galvas is in the exists category. I mean, it's like, okay, he's there. I think he was also part of sort of a relic quest or side quest or something. And you do him like once, and then you never think about him again. So yeah, he's there. That's what I can say about him. He's there. He exists. But yeah, that's about it. Warrior of Light. Ooh, you're going right up there, buddy. You're going right up there next to Thordan and Sephiroth. The Warrior of Light is usually named as one of the best trials, if not one of the best fights, period, in Final Fantasy XIV. And I think there's good reason for that. Everything about him is amazing. The fight's amazing. The gameplay is amazing. The mechanics are amazing. The spectacle is amazing. The music is amazing. The story impact is amazing. Everything just works about this guy. And I think it's fair to say that right now, personally, I would put him and Thornton respectively on the 1 and 2 spots in terms of ranking, because they're just that good. Ruby Weapon has a very special place in my heart. I loved it the first time the weapons appeared, because I'm a big fan of the weapons in general. Huge mechs, sign me up. It's great, awesome, amazing. And I liked his mechanics too, especially the one where he reshaped the arena and you kind of had to you kind of had to run up on the little hills that he formed with his tentacles on the ground, and you had to dodge the quicksand. That was really nice. And the transformation at the end too, where he goes into a second phase. Very cool. Very cool. However, I'll give him... I don't think everybody else thinks the same way that I do. Like, people usually don't feel very strongly about Ruby Weapon, so I'll give him the highest B rank, but I'm not putting him in A rank, because I think that wouldn't be fair. Even though I love him very much. Emerald Weapon is sort of a similar situation. I feel like he's weirdly... The second phase was very over the top, but also very cool. Where he just gained his 6 arms with 6 golden swords. He made his Frieza gold transformation. That was nice. However, was it really anything special? I wouldn't say so. It was cool, pretty inoffensive, like relatively easy to do. And I think that's about it. Diamond Weapon, however. Now, I'll put him probably even higher than Nidhogg. I feel like Diamond Weapon is the highest A rank fight. And I can't really explain why that is. There's a lot of cool ideas in there. A lot of cool ideas about the place where you fight them, about the way that you interact with the arena, about how you change platforms. The fight's very long, which is why you're getting like 2 rewards at the end of it. It's... If I had to call it one thing, it would be smooth. The Diamond Weapon fight was very, very smooth. It was very nice to farm. And even if you did it like 10 or 20 times, it still wasn't annoying. And I think that's why I'd put it up there. Very nice. Very good fight. Love Diamond Weapon. So what about you down here? You are Zodiark, right? Ooh, Zodiark. Now the fights in Endwalker, all of these are emotionally very heavy. So they're like that automatically they're going to score high on the impact scale, because they're just, you're fighting the things that you've been hunting for like, I don't know, 12 years? 12, 15 years if you'd started in like Heavensward or Realm Reborn. So automatically, these are going to be big. They're going to be huge. However, I would still say that Zodiark was sort of annoying as a fight, as an extreme version, particularly. I mean, they tried, but he was just still kind of an annoying bastard. And because of that, I sort of don't want to have him in the kind of a difficult one. B tier or C tier for you? Okay, listen. I'll put Zodiark in low C tier so I can put Hydaelyn in low B tier. I'll put Zodiark in high C tier so I can put Hydaelyn in low B tier. Because I think Hydaelyn was like... I think Hydaelyn was better. Less annoying. Very cool. Very impactful. Had answer for a battle theme, so automatically up there. Actually, I put her higher than that. Actually, I'll put her above Emerald Weapon. I feel like that's fair. Because she was nice. She was cool. Everything about her kind of slapped. Except the fight itself. Which was okay, but not overly awesome. Same thing kind of goes for the Endsinger. Huge spectacle. Huge spectacle, amazing music, okay mechanics. But the emotional attachment to the Endsinger itself wasn't actually that great. I mean, we've only known her since Endwalker. Like, she was nowhere near as much of a figure in the Final Fantasy XIV universe. So I'll just feel compelled to chuck her somewhere in the B rank, because it feels like that's where she belongs. Definitely more of a joy to watch than Titania or Tsukuyomi or Ramuh over there. But I'm not sure if she's like better than Shiva. I don't know, leave it her. Barbariccia. Am I going to? I'm gonna start a fight. I'll put her in S rank. Because Barbariccia's fight was very enjoyable. There were some random elements, but not so many that it would be overwhelming. It was a bit of sort of a breath of fresh air in terms of Final Fantasy raids. But now that I look at the list and I see what's in there, I don't feel like that's deserved. Okay, actually, I'll move her below Ravana. But she was really unexpectedly good, and I will give her that. So there she will remain. Rubicante. Rubicante is... I don't much care for him. I'll be honest. I really don't much care for him. The mechanics he had were sort of a large cognitive load. You have to pay a lot of attention. Sort of annoying to deal with. It wasn't really that cool either in terms of design or music. I sort of want to put him in D. Somewhere alongside Shinryu. Yeah. Okay. He's actually like sort of whatever. Exists, I guess. Golbez. Golbez, where are you going? The trial fight with Golbez was sort of nice, actually. And we've been hunting this guy for... not for the entirety of Endwalker, but since the end of Endwalker. And in the transition into the new... for the transition into the new expansion, we were hunting down Golbez. And then the fight happens on the moon, which is awesome. Theme is cool. Fight is cool. I mean, it's nice. It's nice. I don't mind it. I think it's better than Emerald Weapon. But it's not better than Hydaelyn. That's all I have to say. Zeramus kind of goes in the same... kind of gives me the same vibe as Golbez, even though it's not quite as good as Golbez. Might not actually be as good as Emerald Weapon. The Endsinger. Hmm. Uh. Zeramus. Okay, you can stay there. Okay. And I will ignore all of the ones in Dawntrail for now, because I don't really care about them. At least in terms of rating. Therefore, what we're going to do is do another pass over this entire list and figure out if there's anything that I can change here. I think S rank is pretty much exactly that. It's just these are the best ones, in my opinion. Diamond is good, Ravana, Nidhogg are good, Barbariccia and Shinryu are, I think, okay in a sense, and Hades, even though it's sort of a hot take, I think are fine. Ruby Weapon and Sophia, yeah, Titan is kind of... now that I think about it, Sophia might not be as good as Ultima. Just because she doesn't have that... She doesn't have that pizzazz, you know? Doesn't... She's not hitting as hard. Not hitting as much in the heart as good old Ultima. All right. Huh. In I lost focus. I forgot where I was. What was I just thinking about? Okay. So what I was doing, Hades Innocence, Sophia, Hydaelyn, Golbez, it's fine. Zeramis, Emerald Weapon. Is Emerald Weapon better? And I think Emerald Weapon is actually better than Zeramis, now that I think about it again. Shiva Endsinger. Shiva is an Endsinger? I don't know. I don't know. I think like Endsinger is a little better than Shiva. I feel like I have to keep bumping Shiva down a little bit because it doesn't feel like she's that great. Maybe I've been valuing Shiva a little too highly. I'm not gonna lie. There's a little bit of a bias there. Huh. Uh-huh. A subscriber. Well, that's cool. Where did that guy come from? I don't know. Nobody knows. Anyway. We have here also Emerald Weapon, Zeramis, Endsinger, Shiva, Titania. Yeah, that's fine. Ramuh is not better than Tsukuyomi? I feel like he's a little better. I think we'll go the way. And, no, you're... Actually, no. Sorry, Zodiac. Not better than Zervan. But better than Byakko. Byakko is better than Suzaku, is better than Susano. It's better than Ifrit and Garuda? Actually, no. Sorry, Susano, you're not deserving that much. Rathalos, Bridge, Emanation, The Whirl, Odin, Rubicante, Mr. Snake Man, and all of the others are sort of whatever. I think that's relatively appropriate. Okay, so I need to get that tier list and save it where it makes sense. Okay, stop. Cut. New tab. I'm gonna save that in the scripts directory. No thanks. Share on what? Share on Facebook? We don't have that anymore. Does that generate a link? Oh, actually, that doesn't do anything. Fair enough. But now that I did that, I can just do that. Repost, quote, repost, image. Maybe if I annoy people enough, they will be inclined to respond. Fine. I'll do it myself. There we are. Now the internet should be sufficiently annoyed. Now, then going back to what I was actually doing. Oh, where's my tier list? There. Okay, now going by my own, all of these are irrelevant. I'm not even going to bother with these. Did I put Varus under this, or did I not do that? I think I ignored. No, there he is, actually. There he is. There he is now. Varus is a 1. Dragon Snake, I ignored all of these because I don't care. King Mugelmog is a 2? No. Varus is a 0, actually. I'll give that a 0. Yeah. Odin is a 2. Rubicante is a 2. Maybe I should weigh my own ranking a little bit higher. Okay. Yeah, okay, fair. What else do we have? We have... What are all of you? Bismarck. Bismarck gets a 2. City gets a 2. Rubicante, I just gave a 2. And Odin is also getting a 2. Yeah. Fair. We have Leviathan. Leviathan. Getting a 3, actually. Even though maybe he should be deserving a 2. I don't know. Lakshmi is 3, sure. Rathalos, 3. Susano, a 3. Garuda, 3. Ifrit, same thing. Suzaku, a 3. Byakko, a 3. Zodiark, 3. And Zervan. Where is Zervan? There's the Zervan is here. Then we have Tsukuyomi, which gets a 3, and Ramu. Wait, no, Tsukuyomi gets a 4, right? Because she's B rank. Right. Ramu gets a 4, Titania, Shiva, End Singer. End Singer. Oh, there. Okay. End Singer is a 4, and Zeramus is a 4, I guess. Because he's around. Emerald Weapon is a 4. Mine. This is just mine now. Yeah, please order like this so I know what's going on. What was I now? Tanya, Shiva, Endsinger, Zeramis, Emerald Weapon, Golbez. Golbez is somewhere around here. It's 3, it's 4, for all I care. Uh, no. Golbez into Heidelin. Heidelin is getting a Forden. Sophia is getting a 4. Ultima, you're getting a 4. Titan, bow down over dwellers, getting a 4. Ruby weapon. Ruby weapon is a 4. Hades. Hades nuts. 5. Innocence. Right. Shinryu. 5. Shinryu is a 5. Barbaricia is 5. Ravana is also 5. Nidhogg is 5. Diamond Weapon is 5. Sephiroth is 5. Sephiroth is 6. Warrior of Light is 6. And King Thornton is 6. Okay, I think I can remove all of these others because I can't find any other person that would furnish me with any meaningful scores. Oh my god, people hate Bismarck. Oh dear. Oh dear mighty. Actually, we're going to have to find that by 3. Can we round that, please? That's absurd. Okay. Yeah, now we have a lot of thirds. God, that's annoying. Format. Currency date, fraction, boolean. Blah, 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 blah. Like, do it like this. Okay, thank you. Fair enough. Wait, how long have I been streaming? I think this actually took a little longer than I expected it would. How long have I been live? Almost 2 hours. Well, that's actually quite a bit more than I expected. Yeah, that should be enough for me, actually. I'm quite tired. It might be better if I get out of here. And get out of here while I still have time and I'm not getting raided by angry Twitter users. Okay. So, what does that tell us then? Line bottom? No. Where's the data? Sword descending. With a score of 6. With a unanimous score of 6. Okay. Let me go from the bottom here. So, we have the top 5 of all trials in Final Fantasy XIV. We have Nidhogg on. Number 5 is Nidhogg. With the total. Actually, they're tied. Oh my god. Wait, what's gonna be the tiebreaker then? Oh my god, all of these are tied. Jesus. I'm gonna need more data. Like, I just need one more guy. Alright, I'm asking my friends for help. I need a tiebreaker for the. Okay, Ravana or... Actually, I think it's gotta be Warrior of Light. Warrior of Light should be... Diamond Weapon or Nidhogg. Wait, can I make a Discord poll? Is that a thing I can do? I mean, that might be more appropriate. Can I make 2 polls? Yeah. Best FF14 trial, 2nd place. Ravana. Warrior of Light. Create poll. Warrior of Light. Ravana. Create poll. 4th place. Nidhogg. There we are. Okay. I'll let my friends decide on the fate of these contestants, such that maybe tomorrow we will know who is the best one. All right, so the problem now is we have a top 5. We have determined a top 5 from the very small set of data that which I have here. However, a lot of these are tied. So it would be ideal if I had more data, but I just couldn't find more videos. So maybe I can find a tier list somewhere else and include that, but I think what we have here is already quite, how do you say, precise? No, not precise. Appropriate. I think what we have here is actually quite appropriately displaying what the community thinks as a whole. So, number 5 is Nidhogg. It's either Nidhogg or Diamond Weapon, and I personally would say it's Nidhogg. Number 4 is Diamond Weapon. Number 3, I'd say, is Ravana, by a small margin. Number 2 is Warrior of Light. And number 1, unanimously, everybody loves this guy, is Thordan. Like, there is no question. Everybody loves Thordan. Okay, I think we can agree on that. I don't think anything in Dawntrail would come close to the status that Thordan has as a trial in this game. Okay, so now I have to think about what is the next step. I have to put that into a video. And the editing process is probably going to take a little bit. I don't think I can stream that, or can I? It's probably, I'm not sure if I can stream at the same time when I'm recording a video, because I might have to do that. And I have to record the audio as well and write the script. Writing the script is not the issue, but recording the audio maybe is. Huh. Either way, interesting. I did the post on X, though I don't have a lot of reach, so nobody's looking at it. So I'm still hoping that I might annoy enough people with my terrible takes that they might actually answer. But as things stand, I don't think that's gonna happen. I really need more reach to actually get some opinions on the goddamn things that I put out there. But as for now, it has to suffice, right? It's fair enough. Okay. So for now, we'll leave it here. I have the data that I wanted. I'm gonna put that into a video. I'm gonna write a little bit of a script and edit this entire stream into something that can be used. And then I'll put that on the other channel. So if you want to see that, it'll be on another channel that's not this one, because this one is mostly for streaming. And you have to kind of separate the content on YouTube a little bit, otherwise it goes crazy and doesn't know who to push this to. So there you are. Okay, I will be coming around that some point next week, I guess, or in 2 weeks if I don't feel like it. I don't know, it's just whatever. But until then, stay tuned. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a good time. I will be heading out now. I was considering if I should come back later to stream Final Fantasy 16, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. I'm very tired. I'll just play that by myself. So, have a good time. I'll see you around, and you better be stay tuned for that video. Goodbye.